Your wardrobe, y'all. What is good?
We are live.
We are live. Thanks so much for tapping in to the Be Influential podcast, where we dare y'all to be different. You already know it's Friday, June 4th. Happy Pride, everybody. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
And June 4th. I mean, we're halfway through the year and we are live here at the Downtime Studios in Bridgeport, right?
Connecticut.
With the team in the back.
Yes.
Main Magic Mike in the back.
Hey guys.
What's up? Tony on the couch. Okay. All right. Doing nothing.
He's
Tony
chilling.
Tony gets a bad rap. I am super excited for today's episode, you guys. If you're missing out on today's episode, catch the replay because it is going to be so much fun. You know, we got Marley in the house, so the whole crew is here. But you know what? Being influential really means getting creative, thinking outside of the box and really harnessing your imagination. So today we are going to teach you how to do all of those things. You already know I'm your host, Miss Angie Legg, your personal brand bestie. And to my left is Sharontel Derscale,
celebrity publicist, and now author of
Lord.
The Fear for What.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Fear for What.
Yo, go hit that up. Where? On Amazon?
It is going to be on Amazon actually July 1st. Right now it's on Book Baby.
All right. Sharontel always showing us up. And to my right, I have a very, very special guest. I met this woman outside of the Knowlton building where Downtime it has their studio. And Marley the dog, you heard him in the background, went right up to her. He knows good people. I always follow Marley. He knows good people. And we just started chatting and she was so cool. I asked her, what do you do? Y'all check this check. Welcome, Sarah Vishina, to the building. What's up, girl?
Hi.
She's so cute. Tell us a little bit about what you do because you blow my mind. And if we're talking about imagination and creative thinking, y'all, I brought one of the most influential people to the table. Tell us what you do, girl.
Well, thank you so much. I am a special effects makeup artist, as well as just high fashion as well. So, and I have my own lab and I have a business called Vina Visions LLC. So, it's pretty exciting to be here right now and be able to show the world a little bit of what I can do. And right now there's an Indiegogo all the way to the end of June for a film that I am the special effects makeup artist and makeup artist called Martyr of a Forgotten Dream, director Ben Rummins. And I definitely think that you should check it out. And if you also want to support in other ways, you can follow Martyr the Film on Instagram.
Love it. See, I mean, doing movies and things like that. Yeah. Like this is what it's all about. So I'm super excited to have Sarah on the show because this is going to be a fun one. I'm skipping word of the week because I want to get right into what we're going to be talking about because I'm literally a 12-year-old boy stuck in like a 36-year-old body. Like my immaturity level is 0. So this is going to be so much fun. I want to start with anybody in the audience. What is creative thinking for you? Sharontel, you wanna kick that off? Like, because you are creative. You're constantly coming up with ideas for me to spend my money. So I know you're creative.
That's funny.
I really do. I live in my imagination. Like I have that, of course I'm a grown woman, but I always say I'm that little girl that has now become an adult, but I live in my imagination. So I come up with these ideas and I want to see them in real time. So that's for me, that's creative thinking for me. It's like, oh my God, that's so cool. Let me do it. Let me see. I jump out of the box all the time. There is no box.
No box.
Your creative thinking, no.
Squiggly lines.
No. Sometimes you do questions, you're like, can I? And then I'm like, nope, I'm doing it. So creative thinking is really just having a vivid imagination that it can come true, whatever that may be.
Girl, these lashes are giving me life right now. I'm like looking at you, like, girl, crush. Lashes.
Just love you.
Girl, what do you think? What is creative thinking for you? Master creator over here. What is it for you?
Okay, that is a complex question.
That's all we do here.
I guess, like, how did I get started in creative thinking? I think, like, high school, I had an amazing art teacher, Miss Perkins.
Shout out,
yeah,
Miss
P. She had us do a project with surrealism, and it was like kind of like a meditation she started us out with, where we would like turn off the lights just enough so we can see our paper, and we would sit there and listen to the sounds around us and kind of just let our imaginations go. And kind of from there, I was able to draw like all sorts of very bizarre kind of imagery and tap into weird things like water dripping. So to me, creativity is almost a meditation, and just letting yourself channel basically whatever wants to come through.
And that's like facts, you know, because you can't, when it comes to creative thinking, anything goes. Anything is literally possible, you know, or everything is impossible until it's possible, right?
Yeah.
And so we constantly have to think outside of the box. And that's exactly what I believe creative thinking is the squiggly lines and coloring outside the box and turning the box into a house or whatever the situation is. Yeah. And so we are really going to challenge ourselves today and get deep into, you know, the processes of, like you said, your teacher is brilliant. The fact that she took you to those places, and we're going to talk about where imagination comes from and how to kind of, you know, unearth it. But before we get into the strategies, like we need to get down to why people find it hard to think out of the box. You know, why don't people jump? Why don't people say, because we constantly run into business owners all the time. Well, I've always done it this way. You know what I mean? Everybody gets stuck in the tradition. Even the episode from Gen Z, they are literally changing our digital landscape, and we're all having trouble, you know, stepping outside of the box and into their squiggly lines. So why is it so hard for people to think outside of the box? Who wants to take it? Anybody? Hit it, girl.
People get stuck. People get stuck in their heads. They get stuck in the past. They get stuck in the worry of like ego, you know, presenting themselves a certain way. It's really hard to break that because like we forget that we're understandable. Honestly, I think that is the core of why we don't create, is because we forget that we're understandable.
We're people.
We're people.
We're vulnerable. We have insecurities. Like to your point, you know, people are afraid, and so.
Yes. That's a big one.
The judgment is insane. And especially because of social media, but it's always been there. Right?
Yeah.
You know, what about you? Like why do you think it's so hard for people to step outside of the box? Because don't you mentor people, or aren't you like, come on, jump, do it?
Oh yeah. But I think a lot of times too is fear.
Always.
It's the fear. It's the fear of the unknown. And we can only go as far as we allow our minds to go. So if we put all of those limitations, which there's a part of our brain that wants to protect us too. You know, you get that amazing idea and it's like, are you kidding me? Are you sure you want to do that? How are you going to do that? How are you going to accomplish that? You don't have that. What are they going to do? All of those things go on in people's head, and they never step outside of that. And I always say that nothing changes if nothing changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Facts. And you know, and that's a huge point. And you know, we have to ask ourselves, when did we lose? Because we were all born with an endless amount of knowledge, experience, everything, especially imagination. So I want to give you guys a little information and education in imagination. So from age 2 to 6, you're in a theta brain state. Have you ever
Love
heard of
theta.
theta, gamma, alpha, and beta? Have you ever heard of those brain waves?
Mhm.
So when you're born till about the age of 6, you're in theta. And what that actually means, it's 4 to 8 hertz. And what that means is that it's a vibrational frequency, it's energy that vibrates at a state of imagination, your highest state of creativity. So at about age 6 is when society and your environment and your parents all start making a huge impact on your thoughts and your entities. So how do we get back to that imagination state? Okay. How do we get back to it? How do we ring into that state? You mentioned meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your teacher taught you meditation. Do you still practice it?
Oh, yes.
How do you practice it?
Ever have before.
Do you use music? Do you said reading sometimes is even, unconventional ways of meditation. So how do you practice?
That's actually also a layered question because at different times I practice in different ways. There are times when I am feeling a lot of feelings and I really have to push forward and I can't just sit there and be present. So instead, I actually focus on the visceral feeling. I find it in my body and I focus on it and I just allow myself to move slower, because day to day doesn't allow us to always stop. And so there's that. And then there are times where I will wake up in the morning and I try to take 10 minutes every day of just being present, listening, seeing and feeling. I think those are the 3 main points that you want to focus on. And so I get a little ringing and I watch the static and I look for where feelings are coming up. And then another way. So I also do guided meditations and I find guided meditations online. And I do shadow work as well. I do all of the things because you were saying earlier, there are things that we can't let go that keep us back from our creativity, and those things do not serve us anymore, and learning how to let them go is the biggest gift you can give yourself. And so I am going through a major shift in my life because I'm doing all of this work. I'm actually taking all the inauthentic things I used to do. I'm 32. I'm married, have a kid, getting divorced, 4-year-old boy, wonderful, love him. And I love, even my partner, but I realized that I'm gay. So pride. Woo!
All right.
This is what I'm talking about, is the ultimate authenticity.
Let the rainbow light
break
up.
the rules.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Live life
You got to choose
the way that you choose you.
Yeah, you'll just be
we were
unhappy.
just talking about self-love.
Yeah.
That's definitely it right there.
So
I love it. And thank you for being so
powerful.
transparent and sharing your story with us. That's amazing.
Seriously. And to your point, because you have also just a very sweet aura about you. And also I can, a lot of this imagination, and I think you can speak to this too, Sharontel, because you got babies.
Oh yeah, I'm a mommy.
Playing with kids activates your imagination. When I'm with kids, everything grows. Trees are monsters.
Yeah, that's true.
Sand is
It could be wherever.
sinking. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
How important was coming back to your imagination for your children? What have you learned from them about imagination and incorporating it into your life?
I never let mine go. I am a big kid, literally at heart. I never let mine go. I love my imagination. I'm just so in love with myself. So I'm no, I didn't. But I think it makes it even better because they have theirs and you're like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, let's do that. I think what happens too, as we become adults, we have all these responsibilities, being a wife, being a girlfriend, being a mother, being a sister, all of these responsibilities, and the imagination seems to get put to the side. And that's the thing too, about finding your purpose,
Inner child.
finding that thing. Yeah.
I always say if you lose your inner child, you're old. You're not coming back.
Oh my God, everything I do is through my imagination. So no. They just
Chantel's like, my kids tell me I'm crazy all the time.
My kids tell me to grow up.
Mother that be like, good morning, like just weird and just like, Mom, please. Like,
Chantel has a better social life than her children.
Yes, I really do. My daughter is not that. She's not that active on social media.
Like, Mom, how are you so much cooler than us?
Nope. I'm like, she's like, Mom, you actually inspire me to get on social media. That is so backwards. It's so different. I'm like, I think that'll be a cool song. I'm gonna dance to that, and I don't care. I'm like all by myself. Like, let's get it.
Literally.
So it just makes life so much better. We need to hold on to that, as Mike says, the inner child, because it just makes life also better, and it becomes an escape too. Because life can be stressful, and it can have really crazy moments. And when I have those moments, I just tap into that inner child and that thing, and it just takes me away. Like, as we know, my son has been in the hospital for over 2 weeks now, and you won't tell looking at my page. I'm doing interviews. I'm at the basketball thing. I'm getting my whole life because he's away right now. So I'm like, let me just do my thing, because he's getting better and he's doing just fine, and I'm just excited. But without that, I probably would be at home bawling my eyes out.
And that's the thing, because creative thinking also gives you the opportunity to, visualize what's not there.
Yes.
Which is how you manifest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Positivity, negativity, it's how you manifest and what you think about. So if you can use your imagination to see the good in things, you moving on, you know what I mean? When you can't do anything about your son's situation at this very moment, is creative thinking. That
is creative.
Is I've got to move on. I know I can't do anything, but I'm going to stay positive. I believe I can see that this situation is, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So
absolutely.
100%.
What about you and Marley when you go hiking?
I was literally,
I was thinking, I'm like,
I think I'm like, I don't even know, Carmen Sandiego when I'm hiking and camping and making fires. Like, I think that I'm lost in the woods being chased by bears and, avoiding snakes and shit. Like, when I'm hiking and camping and backpacking, I am in adventure mode, and it puts me, at a new level of imagination, and you're constantly having to solve problems. If it's raining and you have to start a fire, like, you have to use your imagination. You have to get creative with, okay, I have this tarp, I gotta, not burn the place down, but cover it enough to start it, and all these things. So 100%. And Marley is just like, I pretend that he is human. I use my imagination to pretend that this is my baby, my little child. And you know what I mean, right? He loves everybody. So that's really what it's all about. So now that we've talked a little bit on how we use our imagination, how we activate it, let's get into like some actual techniques. Okay. You know what I mean? Because
what she does.
Meditating is super great, but there are definitely things that I don't think people think about, and how to apply it to their businesess and content and whatever, So one of the first things is brainstorming ideas. In a situation like yours, you have these characters, these sci-fi characters where no one's ever seen it. Like, you're literally creating something completely new. How do you brainstorm? Like, how do you say, I'm ready to come up with these ideas? Because it's more than just meditation. There's got to be some process. So what's your process like?
So I probably start with research. Like, I get a spark of an idea, and then I throw myself into either media, or if I have a question I don't know the answer, then I need to do hours and hours, days and days, years and years of research. So what you actually saw in my studio, the story that I'm writing, should I give a little bit about
ahead.
it?
Sure.
Okay, so
absolutely, please, please do.
So we're set so far into the future that the sun is close to exploding, and humans and animals have evolved so much that animals can talk and speak, and they're intelligent, and humans are evolving in many other ways, specifically because we can go through wormholes, and there's technology that maybe I shouldn't give it all away, but
you mean the future of humankind? Yeah, I think you should. This sounds pretty accurate. This sounds exactly like the end of the world. I think you should share as much shit as possible. I need to be prepared.
This might be it.
It sounds right. If Marley ever started talking, I would be like, all right, that's Sarah girl. Hey, I need to go talk to her. I need to find out what happened next. Keep going, girl, with this craziness.
Where we can go through wormholes, and wormholes are actually highways to other like planets that have life. And in order to go through these wormholes, there's technology that kind of sparks our anatomy back together after it, like, dissipates. And when we come back together, sometimes we get extra body parts, so it becomes like really cool fractal.
Free titties.
Yes. I'm so excited because I love sci-fi. I'm such a sci-fi like cray.
You're a creep. That's what it is.
I know. I get so excited. We were talking about vibrations and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like all in. Like I can see what you're saying. You've seen it,
girl.
You seen Marley talking. You guys were doing an Instagram reel together. Like that's my best friend. That's my best friend.
So the question is,
that's beautiful though.
Thank you. The question is, how do I get to these abstract
ideas?
Yes, that was the question. I'm on in the movie.
Ultimately, I sat there with the feeling that I wanted, to see a world that was happier. And I actually thought that like we could kind of have a society that has its shit together, but still have complex stories that are still like with really good story arcs and stuff. So and the villain is actually more of the question of enlightenment, and like where some of the pitfalls are in enlightenment, specifically like forcefulness around enlightenment, and where do we draw the line on where you have to be a certain way to evolve. No, you don't. You don't have to be a certain way, and all levels of our development are valid, and we really need to sometimes remember that, like that. And there's always a ceiling in every step of enlightenment. There's a ceiling that you hit, and you go to this place of ego, and it's the higher you get, the more you could fall, the more that ceiling affects you. And it's hard to not fall into that ego and think that
Oh, the ego is one complex situation. And what's so funny is that, and I'm sitting here almost crying, because this is more than like Google research, you guys. Like she's not Googling shit. Like that's very in-depth thinking. Yes, exactly. And I'm thinking like, Sharon Tellig just wakes up and she's like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this on it. Like, and this is so in-depth
all the time.
And you just like,
no.
But that goes to say, everybody's, process
is different.
Really is different. It can take years. It can take this really your patience, your level of patience and commitment to patience is something that I'm practicing, and when it comes to creative thinking and ideas, like waiting for that really one great idea could be life changing. So don't spend your time fiddling with something that doesn't feel right and that you're not aligned with, and just keep digging deeper into those thoughts. And like you explaining that process and then explaining, your vision makes it so clear, how complex your thinking is, but you have to be
Right.
for what you do, which is so inspiring.
Yeah, it is super inspiring.
Because I'm like you, you know what I mean? I wake up, I take longer. Yeah. I take a little bit longer to process ideas. You wake up, you're like, idea, process.
And then I'm already flipping on the camera and I'm going. Or if I want to meet some person, I'm going to strategically make out a plan and figure it out and get there.
Manifest.
Yeah. I have been working on the book for about 3 years though. So there are some projects that do take a little bit longer, than others. So, but I am on impulse all day long. Like right now, my mind is going and I'm like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Let me, yeah.
So you mentioned, Sarah, ego, and I want to talk a little bit on how to keep ego out of it, because that is such a struggle for all of us, because ego comes in the form of fear and judgment and so on and so forth. So how do we keep ego out of our own imagination? How do we keep our ego from getting in our own way?
Knowing the bounds of it. You gotta know your ego. You gotta love your ego. You gotta know that your ego is there to love you, respect it, and listen to it so it doesn't scream and it doesn't start doing things in manipulative ways.
Oh my God, my ego is a degenerate. My ego is like, girl, you can't.
You heard of Dr. Wayne Dyer? Oh, me.
Have you heard of Dr. Wayne Dyer?
I haven't.
So every time when I hear the word ego, I always think about him, because he says that like the ego is edging God out. And I always ask myself questions when I don't feel like I'm in line. Maybe one of those chakras aren't lining up. They're not lighting up. And so I start asking myself the question. So every time when I hear ego, I'm like, I never, for my belief in God and in the universe and its massive possibilities and potential, I never want to edge God out of anything.
Yep.
He's in every decision that I make, crazy ones and all. He's in every decision. So we should think about that too. Like if you believe in God, because everyone has their own beliefs, but if you do, just think about that. Like, do you really want to edge God out?
And for those
I don't.
For those that don't necessarily believe in God, you're edging yourself out.
Yeah,
replace yourself in that scenario, because Marley is amen. Marley, Marley is feeling that edge that out, homie.
What you saying?
You know what I mean? I love it. So keeping your ego out of it, keeping the fear out of it, and how do you identify when your ego is stepping in? When you start thinking and saying negative things, when those thoughts of despair and when words I can't or impossible or I'm scared, whatever, that is your ego protecting you. To your point, our brain is here to say, careful. Are you sure you want to do this? You know what I mean? It's like touching a hot stove. Our brain is there to protect us, but we have to learn how to work around the situations. If there's a hot stove, we learn not to touch it, but we can still cook on it. You know what I mean? I'm still cooking on some mac and cheese. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you what?
I need to tap into that imagination.
The mac and cheese the mac and cheese imagination.
You haven't been in the kitchen about 2-3 years, Sharontel. I got a cooking show coming up.
That's what I was trying to get at.
I have a cooking show coming up. Cooking Tales with Sharontel, because I had an idea and I don't even cook at home. I know how to cook though.
I do.
I know how to cook, but I don't cook. It's a difference.
And real quick, because I think we do have a little time, because cooking is actually
let's talk about it, because I love some food.
Way of using your imagination. Like, who follows a recipe? You know what I mean? My aunt taught me, she was a baker, and she would not follow a recipe, and it would be perfect. And then I remember the first time I followed one of her recipes, and it came out okay. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do it my way. And I did. And my way was doing it with love, which was also her way. I found out. And I did it with love. I remember it. I'll never forget. It was 2 apple pies. I did it with love. I ate both those apple pies.
Yeah.
In like 2 days.
You gotta do it.
Like, look at all this love.
Food is love. Food is love.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But like food lets you experiment. What do you like to cook? Like what gives you the let's make chicken something? Or are you the leftover queen?
I've actually had a very interesting relationship with food because I've had some dietary restrictions come up throughout my life. Kind of actually one of the things that helped me become more aware and actually start listening to my body more, and bringing me to this like place where I want to meditate more and everything. So I eat gluten-free, dairy-free. I have garlic and onion and egg sensitivities. Egg is actually more of like a real allergy. It affects everything else. So I've had to find a lot of variations on how to cook. So I'm actually a very creative in that I can take a recipe and easily alter it to my diet or to anybody else's diet. Cause like I have plenty of vegan friends. I have plenty of, people who have restrictions themselves in other categories. So, it is you have limitations, and then let's apply the limitations and work around it. Find those win-wins, basically. It's another form of that, like, being aware and practicing,
what you can do with it. Just, y'all, please season your food. That's all I'm asking. Yes. Season the damn food. Like,
there are a lot of seasonings other than garlic and onion that we don't utilize. And
I think every Friday after the podcast, me and Chantel go and get food.
Yes, we do.
And no matter what she gets a hot sauce on the side.
Yes, I do. I love my food.
It could
spicy.
Be a milkshake.
Yes.
She's like, hot sauce, please. I'm like, girl, I gotta stop hanging out with you. Hot sauce on everything.
Everything.
Season your food, but that's you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's creative. Like someone thought of that. Someone came up with it.
I went to this 5-star restaurant the other day though, and I did not ask for hot sauce, nor did I ask for Tabasco sauce because I was like, I don't want them to be like, look at that. Look at that girl over there. I let the ego it just took over because I usually don't care, but for some reason I was at this place and I was like, oh, I gotta, and I wanted, and all that time I wanted Tabasco sauce. I didn't want them to tell me they didn't have it, so I didn't ask.
The chef comes out, you did what?
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those.
Who are you? Oh God. Well, I love that. And I love how he just talked about food because that's literally my favorite thing in the whole entire world. Like
food is love and love
breathing.
Okay.
That's dope. So let's get into the super fun part that I'm so excited about. We're going to actually participate in some exercises that are going to kind of bring up our imagination and really challenge us. So some of the exercises to practice creative thinking and to step outside the box is, when you look at something, you have to ask yourself, what else can I do with this?
Ooh.
Right?
All right.
Okay.
What else can I do with this?
So let's, do we have anything? Chantel, what do we have around the room? Because I wanted to make sure that we didn't have anything. Find something. Grab that broom. Yeah, grab that broom. Yeah. All right. Okay. Here's the game. We have the broom.
Yep.
You two are going to say as many things that you can do with this broom, and whoever can come up with the most things wins. Simple as that. So I am going to let me get to see Chantel. All right, Chantel. So y'all, we have this map. Where's the map? What is this? A broom? A map?
It's a broom.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Nice little black little.
Okay.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, don't worry, girl. Your new wig. Okay.
Can I ask Siri?
No, she is listening. I am sick of that. No, you cannot ask Siri. All right, y'all. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds each.
Okay.
Let me get out the timer.
Oh, goodness.
Can we repeat? Or
No, you can't.
I was just thinking that too.
No, y'all weren't. That's not influential, y'all. You are just messing me up. No, you can't repeat. Okay. And so do you want to go back and forth? We'll go back and forth. So you say one, you say one.
Okay, yeah,
all
in 30, that sounds good
in
because
30 seconds, right? It'll give everybody just a little bit. So what else can we do with this broom? Start, Chantel.
Dress it up.
Ride it.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Paint with it.
Okay.
Get things off the ceiling.
Okay.
I was thinking that too. Like sweep up. I was thinking like sweep up the cobwebs or use it as a duster.
Okay.
Oh, you could use it for a fort.
Yeah, absolutely. Pitch a tent.
Ooh, you can.
Oh, it's done. It's done. It's done. It is done. And it was a tie.
Gosh.
Dusting off your car in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
How many
yeah,
times
I've
have
done
you
that.
done that?
I know, I've done that.
Listen, right? For a costume, all these things.
Yeah.
All right.
Customs,
That's what I meant for like riding it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
Yeah.
That's why I said dress it up.
like
Yeah.
it's like witching.
It's too late, Sarah.
Exactly.
It's too late, Sarah. You did not include that in the context whatsoever.
What is it?
Whatsoever. Mike, do we have another item hanging around? Any old item that we can debate? What about that water bottle? Yeah.
Oh, the sponsor. Okay.
I like fancy. Okay, y'all. So we have a apricot brandy Blanco here,
Mhm.
and we're gonna take 30 seconds to figure out what else. And first of all, don't you get nasty, okay? We know you ain't talking about no costumes, all right? So before we get into this, we have a beautiful bottle. Ready? Go, girl.
Cook with it.
What? Oh, cook with it. A little brandy cooking. What else can you do?
I was thinking maybe
There is that. Where's that imagination, girl? That you be talking
threw me
about?
off with the alcohol. Threw me off. Pass.
Clean with it.
Yeah. Oh, girl. What?
Yeah, exactly. Use it as an appetizer.
Okay. Use it as a base. Use it as in the movies when you just like dramatically hit somebody over the head and then it cracks and breaks. Like that's classic.
A candle holder.
Candle holder. See,
holder.
now there's actually, for anybody who's out there who's a tequila drinker, anybody heard of Clase Azul? I know Mike has, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Clase Azul is a luxury tequila, but what makes it so luxurious is the bottle that it comes in. And these bottles are manufactured individually. They have serial numbers. They're beautifully handcrafted, like Mexican. Yeah, and they have a bell on top, just very, very intricate. And one of the ideas that the owner had for his bottles was to recycle the actual tequila bottles. So you can make lamps out of them. They can be candle stick holders. They can be table legs, like really, really innovative and imaginative. So absolutely, you can do so many things. So I love that.
She won.
You
She won on that one.
Yes.
I was stuck on that one.
Yeah. You're like, drink it. We're no, it's all good. We're gonna do yes, but we have a new one. So what else can you do with an item when you're looking at a situation? You have to look at it from all angles. You have to get really, really creative and go deep with it. All right. The next strategy or exercise that you can practice to open up your mind is to take notice. A lot of times, we need to practice being present. A lot of times we're in this really, really great, beautiful studio. You guys have probably seen a little bit of it, but Mike and his team have collected all of this really cool vintage memorabilia, and there's just so much to look at all the time. And sometimes he adds something new and changes things. So it's kind of very, very cool. But, I kind of thought to myself, I don't always notice if things have changed or haven't always noticed my environment. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you all 30 seconds to kind of look around the room, and I am going to ask you a question about the room and see if you can handle it. So give you your 30 seconds, look around. So we have a lot of memorabilia. We have mom memorabilia, baseball players, soccer players, jerseys. Yeah. I see Lion King posters.
I see E.T.
There's a basketball hoop in here. Shout out to the Hartford Whalers, an old school poster. Chantel's purse on the seat.
Yeah. I'm always paying attention though, like a lot of times with my ADHD, it's just I can't stay still in one place. So I'm always looking around.
All right.
But now you're about to ask me a question.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to get nervous.
I'm about to ask you a question. Okay, Chantel, I'm going to ask you the very first question. You stop looking, girl.
Oh, okay. I can't look anymore. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Let's see if you took notice. How many black chairs are there on the left-hand side when you walk into the studio?
2.
Take a look. There was 4. I know. And what's so funny, and what's the point I'm trying to prove is we walk into the studio every single week, and there's always 4 chairs. It's never not 4 chairs. Girl, you need to, maybe if you didn't wear that robot mask, you'd be able to see. Where is that?
RoboCop.
We're bringing that out because that is some creative ass shit.
I'm telling you, I have a friend who she's an astronaut and she had one and I had to go get one because I thought it was the dopest thing. Look at it. I can't wait to put it on now.
Look at this thing.
Bringing it a part of the show.
Look at this. Listen, somebody this is your next character in your next sci-fi right here, Chantel. Durskill, celebrity publicist, and RoboCop.
They're looking for an extra. Bring me in. Right? I'm telling you, when I put it on, I'm so excited that we're talking about it. When I put it on, I feel like a superhero.
Right?
Yeah. Right. I walked in Starbucks the other day and I'm like, and you could feel the people looking at me like, oh, wow, she got a lot of guts wearing a shield. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I got superpowers. I think I told you that.
People wonder what you got. Really That's what they wondering. They're wondering what you got. Why she protect herself so badly? All right, Sarah. So I've got a good one for you. Name one baseball team that you saw in this room.
Yankees on the window.
Yes. So we have we have Yankees on the window. We have it up on the wall in a little plaque. And what's Shea Stadium? Is that where's that?
That was the original Mets stadium.
Oh, the original Mets. So that's for all the Met people out there. So that was really good. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
And this also goes to show, don't feel bad, guys. You're practicing imagination and creative thinking literally as your job. You know what I mean? And so I would expect you to be more, visual and to pick up better and so on and so forth. Girl, this skill you got to work on. We know you. This is
We all
I'm
we're gonna practice.
We all
I
gifts.
only see one
I
chair,
know.
and that's the one my purse is sitting on. That's it.
And then you just added an extra. You're like, you know what? I might be two. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Exactly.
So when you guys are
That is
out,
so
you know,
funny.
try and take notice. And this actually goes along with, you know, what I'm really bad at is I'm not bad at directions, but I'm very dependent on my GPS. And so when you can start, you know, seeing landmarks and things like that, you start really, you know, learning to take notice, you know,
Yeah.
oh, that rock on the highway that sticks out or looks like a shark or looks like a whale or something like that, you know, you start to take notice and it improves your life. It really does when
Yeah.
you start to sit and absorb the environment around you. So take notice is a great exercise. And this is going to be so much fun because the next one is going to be just improvise.
Oh.
Improvising's tough.
Oh,
Right? Like we
okay.
actually, outside of like some of the questions that
Mhm.
I ask, like we improvise every answer. Like
We do.
nothing is
We really do.
scripted, nothing, you know, just topics. And it's difficult. It's a skill. And you can absolutely get better at it. So, what we're going to do, there is this game. So, for Memorial Day weekend, I was up in Maine with my cousin, and he had a ton of friends, like 30 people at our house.
Wow.
And they had a game that I had never heard of, and it's called Master Debaters. Have you ever heard of this game?
No, this would be my first time.
Oh my God, it is so funny. But you've heard of it.
Okay.
And so we never got a chance to play it. So I was like, I wanted to play it so bad. So I'm bringing it to the show. And basically all it is two people debating the most ridiculous concepts and defending them wholeheartedly.
You do that all the time.
You better be ready.
Better not wear that bonnet outside.
Listen, be ready. And this is exactly it, you know, because we are all different. You never know where anybody's mindset is coming from. So this is going to be fun. This is how it's going to go. Again, 30 seconds. And then 30 seconds each to take a side, and then 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Okay. The first thing that we're going to do, though, because the person who goes first kind of has the upper hand. Do we agree or disagree? Okay, here, then this is what we'll do. We're going to do rocks, paper, scissors. Whoever wins gets to choose if they go first or second. Okay. And I literally solve very serious situations with rocks, paper, scissors. I will solve vacation questions with rocks, paper, scissors. That's just how I roll. So let's do this. Rocks, paper, 1 out of 1. Do you know how to play?
Help me.
This is fantastic. So ready? Are you paying attention? Rock, paper, scissors. Okay. So you know how to, so what it is rocks, paper, scissors. 1, 2,
and you pick
3,
one of them.
shoot.
Got it.
Shoot. Okay.
All right.
1 out of 1, y'all. Don't play games. Let's go. Ready?
Okay.
Yeah. Rocks, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, see, girl.
I missed it. Okay, do it again. One more time. It is hot.
Okay. Rocks, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, do it again. Rocks, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay. So you get to choose whether you go first or second.
Okay.
I'll give you the topic.
Okay.
And you can decide. Okay. So the first topic that we are debating is what's better, pizza or tacos?
I'll go second.
All right. So she's going to go second. So, darling, you have 30 seconds to choose what's better, pizza or tacos? And then you have to rebuttal whatever she says. Okay. You have to take the other side. All right. Ready? Go.
Tacos, because it's like a healthy, that like unhealthy food. So you can choose whether or not you want like lots of lettuce and tomatoes, cilantro, jalapenos. I mean, you can get like really awesome with it, and you can make it gluten-free, right? Really easily, and it's like still traditional. And
5 seconds.
okay. And I mean, who doesn't love a taco?
Boom. Boom. And who doesn't love a taco? Debate. Mic drop. All right. So she said tacos. So you have to defend pizza right now. When was the last time you ate pizza?
I don't even like pizza.
Girl, well, this is the problem. You chose to go second.
No, I'm with it.
Yeah,
You know,
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
for
use your imagination, girl.
a fun
You got-
debate.
You got something that I know. You constantly just go against the grain. Like you don't even have to like pizza.
Oh,
All
my
right,
goodness.
you ready?
Okay.
Let's go. 30 seconds.
So I say that pizza is better because I'm a girl that needs to put on an extra pound or two. So I need those carbs, and you get to put so many different toppings. And I'm a cheese lover. So cheese falling all over, and it's hot, and yeah, it's just amazing. And I think that pizza would be definitely better. And I love tacos too.
All right.
I know.
All right.
I can't say that, right?
There's cheese and tacos.
Pizza's better. I think my favorite answer
like
was
pizza. I don't like
tacos
pizza.
are the healthy, unhealthy food.
Like taco is my
Who
thing.
are you cooking for?
Yeah, I love tacos. I don't eat pizza.
Well, next time, maybe
But for the game, I'll say pizza is better so I can put on an extra pound or
we'll
two.
keep it at 30-30. Mike, who had the better argument? Who had the better argument?
I'm biased.
Oh, my God.
I had pizza last night
Oh,
and the night before.
Oh wow!
Oh,
See, he loves pizza.
oh shoot.
I'm a pizza prince. My
Wasn't he
stepfather,
behind
I was
the
raised
scenes?
in the pizza oven.
He was behind the scenes,
He
but
was
he
behind
was
the
part of
scenes. He was
it.
there.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with pizza. My stepfather owned a pizza place while I grew up. So I mean, I can't, how can I say no to pizza?
A lot of the bodybuilders when I was in the gym, like they eat pizza.
But you know what? The thing about
Healthy pizza too.
Yes, you can.
You can.
You can make it gluten free. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like it's
No, I know.
traditional,
No, you're right.
It's easy.
And
to-
tacos-
especially-
Tacos are a lighter
Choose.
dish. Like if I'm going out, I'd rather have tacos for
Mhm.
dinner than pizza. Because then Tony and I, for example, a couple nights ago had pizza and we were literally sleeping in the studio. You know, so it's like tacos. It gives you the right amount of energy too. So
That's
I mean,
what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I will. I love you both. So the draw.
and I feel like tacos are like anybody can make
I
a taco.
love
Yeah.
tacos.
A 2-year-old can put together.
Yes.
a
Yes.
taco.
Yes. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
honestly, you need a brick oven to even have a good pizza.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Uh,
To do the right type of cooking
Little formula on
temperature.
the bottom.
With the temperature, right? That's what I was saying. Like, gotta be hot.
I'm sorry, but the scheduled program has been interrupted by Tony's freaking attitude.
What do you say? What do you say?
Oh, he didn't have to say a thing.
Oh yeah.
This
he-
pizza
he-
guy
he-
doesn't know pizza from his left foot to his right foot.
He doesn't even have feet.
All right, y'all. So, what do you guys think? Pizza or tacos?
Pizza
What
or
do you guys
tacos?
think? All right, but we're not done here, master debaters. The next one.
I'm sorry.
The next debate is, and so I'll rule. I'll be the judge. I think Sarah won. You didn't make it to the 30 seconds, bro. You're trying.
I tried.
But you're gonna
I
kill it
like
this
pizza.
time. I know you're gonna kill it this time. You're gonna kill it this
I am
time.
okay.
Because you won, you get to decide if you want to go first or second.
Do I know the topic?
Did I give the topic last time first?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, yes, I'll give you the topic. Is breakfast cereal soup?
Wow.
Do you want to take this on first? Chantel's sweating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes.
Oh God!
There you go.
Wow!
Yes, there
All
you
right,
go.
girl, get ready. You better come hard. 'Cause she's giving you time. Okay, ready? Is breakfast cereal soup? Go.
It's a cold soup. Do I have to say more?
Mic drop. It's a cold soup. That's one of the first things that I thought of. But what else you got? What else you got?
You can add plenty of things like strawberries or sugar. you know, like if you want to go with a traditional route, or you could also be weird about it and like put avocado in it, you know, and probably make it really tasty in its own weird way. So
I'm not going to Sarah's for breakfast. I've never.
Hey, I have a 4-year-old. I'm pretty sure that I've seen him do something weird.
That's so true.
And he loves it. So I'm not going to judge him. So
we need to bring this kid on the show and just make sure he's okay. Are you eating okay? My mom is eating avocado and Honey Nut Cheerios. Sounds like avocado toast to me, boy.
I'm letting him live in his creativity.
There you go.
So that was good. Cold soup. Your next, boo. You ready?
Yeah.
30 seconds. Is breakfast cereal soup? She said yes.
I'd say no. Breakfast cereal is that's just what it is. It's just cold with some milk maybe, and I don't look at it as a soup. Soup is something just so amazing that grandma makes with the broth and the vegetables, and it's warm and it's hot and and you eat it during certain times of the year, you know, and you look forward to it because it's comfort food. And breakfast is not comfort. It's
ding, ding, ding.
Breakfast cereal is
breakfast is comfort food because I do get the itis after breakfast.
Breakfast?
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging. No ego here.
Not judge. Did y'all see that face? Are we paused?
I think so.
That's okay.
Thank goodness that we paused in a cute way. Because we're looking like this. So, you know, sometimes the camera can be like, why did it have to freeze my face like that?
Oh, do we know why it's frozen? Oh, it's like going so slow.
Technology.
That's right.
Yep.
They can probably pick up on it. You know, for that particular one, I'm going to have to go with Sharontel. It was totally in depth. And at the end of the day, you know, breakfast cereal, it's cereal, man. Yeah. But that being said, there is something about it. Like at the end of Fruit Loops, that broth.
Oh,
yeah,
that cereal,
okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. We can't turn into that. That's true.
So good.
This brings up the question of like what is what and why do we label them what? You know,
Right.
But that's actually a really creative topic to like talk about too, because I mean,
100%. We are straight up frozen.
Yeah, we are.
All right. Oh God, look at that.
Oh,
look at that pause.
Look at you. You're debating.
Throwing down. Okay, and so the very last one, because we're coming to the end of the show, and you know, I had to make it all about food because that's what we do after the show.
Yeah.
Our cupcakes, the superior cake. Now you won, so you get to decide if you go first or second. Our cupcakes, the superior cake.
I love cupcakes.
Right?
So I'm going to go first on this one.
Oh, baby. I love when you take the lead. Let's go, girl.
I like to debate.
Yes, I know.
But this time I'll take the lead on this one because I love me some cupcakes. Matter of fact, I got cupcakes sitting on the kitchen table right now waiting for me when I get back home. I feel like sometimes I don't even eat like the regular cake anymore because the cupcakes, you can peel down the wrapper and the paper and you can just bite into it and the frosting, and it's not too much. It's just perfect. You know, they do have some big cupcakes and they have small cupcakes and they have medium cupcakes, and you can get all different kinds of flavors and just not too much. Sometimes with the cake, it's gotta be a part of a party, but cupcakes, you can get it personal. So cupcakes are definitely superior over the cakes.
Oh, I was just listening. Sorry, 43 seconds. You're done.
See, you're done. You want a cupcake.
I was like,
you want a cupcake after lunch.
I really was thinking about red velvet cupcakes, and I was thinking, I'm like, would I have one or two? I
Right.
literally went into I need to eat mode.
Yeah.
All right, girl. So you have to talk about why cupcakes aren't the superior cake. You ready? Let's go.
because you can make sculptures with larger cakes.
Listen, the flexibility. Mic drop.
Yeah, that's a mic drop.
Mic drop.
You can make them out of tops. Give me
Yeah. I love
It's
those
her
like
debate.
videos of people like cutting into like things like it's somebody's hand and they cut it and you're like, it's a cake.
Yeah.
What is that? You know, like, come on, that's amazing.
I love
That
that.
is so
I love the way you
amazing.
think.
Yeah. 30 seconds on the dot. And y'all, I think we all know who took that.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta
like,
give it.
perfect.
I was in love with what she was saying. Like,
I got caught up in yours too. I thought
Yeah, I know,
you were
that's
gonna
true.
take it. She might
mean,
drop
Flavor
that.
wise,
That
I
is
think
so
you're
true.
right. They probably cupcakes are better flavor
for
wise.
that
But
part,
I
but
mean, if we're talking
cakes, you can-
creativity in visual,
cakes have evolved because I don't remember cakes being like that. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, you like the microphone, like you're that. And then they can make a cake out of the whole microphone. Like that is so cool. So
Look
yeah,
how deep
you're right.
we are going
You're right.
specifically about this goddamn cupcake. Like it's the end of the show. Chantel's like, no.
Oh,
Do you know
wait, one more
cupcakes?
thing.
Yeah, it's on my. I can't. I'm gonna eat mine.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love that.
So this has been such a fun episode,
Yes.
and I want to thank
This is
my
a lot
girl
of fun.
Sarah Vashina, right?
Shishina.
Vashina,
I love
and for coming to the show for the first time. Hope it's not the last because
Ooh,
your
come
brain
back.
is like
yes.
insane.
Thank you.
Let's talk about our takeaways. What did we take away from this incredible episode? What do you think, hon?
Meditation. That's
Yes.
a huge one for creativity. I think it's really the foundation of being present and aware and thinking through things and removing the things that are in your way. Habits taught to you that don't need to be there.
Yes.
Done.
Boom.
What about you? What were your takeaways today?
To tap into your inner self, that inner child that Mike said earlier, and not letting go of your imagination because it's just the key to the universe.
So much fun.
Unlock it.
Unlock it.
Put it in and unlock it. So that's my takeaway.
And I was just impressed by your process, like the overall
Oh, you
how
were.
deep you go into the process. I think is super fascinating, and we all can learn from how to come up with these ideas that don't exist, that literally don't exist. And that's how influencers are made. That's how Steve Jobs created Apple and the iPhone, and Elon Musk did Tesla, and all the Jeff Bezos sold books out of his garage. He had to think out of the box. And you guys, if you want to pursue your dreams, you want to do big things, you want to change the world, this is the best strategy next to communication, communicating that idea, but coming up with them is just so massively powerful. And I hope you guys got a little something out of today's episode. I know I sure did. And big shout out, thank you to our sponsor, 10K Cards. Sarah got her card. What'd you think of your card? What'd you think of your card?
I haven't used it yet.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Oh,
No,
that's okay.
Listen, it is the new wave and you're ahead of the curve. And that's what we do on the Influential Podcast. Big shout out to the Downtime Productions team. We in the house, and we will catch you next Friday, y'all. Peace.
Thanks so much for tapping into the Be Influential podcast, where we dare you to be different. I'm your host, Angie Legg, and you can catch me and my co-host, Sharontel Durskell, every Friday, live at 11 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Clubhouse. And a big shout out to my sponsor, 10K Cards, the modern business card. Scan the QR code and get yours today.